Hi everyone, welcome to Java Techie. In this tutorial, we'll discuss what is parallel stream and its data processing and performance. Also, we'll compare parallel stream with normal stream with an real-time example. Okay, alright. Before we deep dive into code, first let's try to have some basic understanding about parallel stream and its internal flow. Basically, this parallel stream concept was introduced in Java 8 as part of Stream API. The main purpose of using this parallel stream to achieve a better performance of your application by utilizing multiple cores of the processor. Whenever we are executing normal stream, always it will execute in a sequentially manner in a single core of your processor. Whereas by using parallel streams, we can divide the code into multiple streams, or we can say we can convert a single stream to chunk of stream that will executed in parallelly on a separate cores. Definitely it will give us the better performance as compared to our plain stream, isn't it? And the order of execution in parallel stream is not sorted. However, it's not in our control. So as the single task will be executed by multiple thread, we cannot predict the order of execution. Now, if you can see this diagram, the flow of sequential stream, the task will be executed by multiple thread, but it will execute always in a single core. So core 2, core 3, core 4 sitting ideal here, right? But in case of parallel stream, the task will be executed by multiple thread and they are properly utilizing the cores of my processors, core 1, 2, 3, 4. All the core occupied with some tasks. That's what the main difference between sequential stream and parallel stream. We'll understand this exact scenario in action. Let's get started. Let's create a separate package here. Just click on here, click right, new, click on package. So I'll name it parallel stream. Then let's create a class parallel stream example. Okay, so let me write one main method. Fine. So what I want to do, I will just try to iterate 100 record using the normal stream and using the parallel stream. Then we'll evaluate the performance. Okay. So first, let me create one int stream dot range of. I just want to print from 1 to 100 dot for each. I just want to print it. System dot out. Use the method reference. I'll use println. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just create a start time long start, then long end. Let me, yeah. Now I'll type here start time equal to system dot current time millisecond. What happened? Similarly, for end time, I will evaluate system dot current time millisecond. Okay. Now I just want to print sys out plain stream to time. Then we can do the subtract, right? End minus start. Fine. It will give us in millisecond. Similarly, let's write a code to make the execution with parallel stream. So there is two way we can create a parallel stream. Let's understand that. I'll create in stream dot range 1 to 100 dot parallel. So there is a method called parallel with which we can execute parallelly. Okay. Now here I'll just write, I will copy the same logic. I just want to print it. Again, I'll write start time. I'll write end time. Then we'll evaluate the total time. Fine. So I'll change it to parallel stream. Fine. So what we'll do, we'll just add one system.out. I'll add some line here. Now if I'll execute this piece of code, we'll understand the performance of plain stream and parallel stream. Then with the same example, I'll show you how it will execute in a single core and how parallel stream will execute in multiple core of my processor. So let's run this code. Now if you observe here, the parallel stream took time 23 millisecond, right? Now if we'll go up, and the plain stream took time 73 millisecond. So hence it proved like the response will be more faster in our parallel stream. And if you see the order of execution in parallel stream, it begin from the 65 67 randomly, right? 92 41 43. So the order of execution is not constant in parallel stream, but if you check in your plain stream, it will begin from the 1 only, 1 2 3 4 as it is, right? So here what we understand, the order of execution is not constant in parallel stream, and the response wise parallel stream is better than plain stream. So you just play with hundred of record. Once you will play with million of record, you will really find out the performance between plain stream and parallel stream. Now let's understand how this parallel stream will execute in multiple core of my processor. So what I'll do, I'll write a separate code for that. I'll write int stream dot range. So I'll try for 1 to 10. Then I'll just do the for each x. I just want to print the thread name sys out. Just print the thread. Then add the thread name, thread dot current thread dot get name. Just print the value. Okay. So the value is x. Now let's try for our parallel stream. Let me copy the same. Just add it here and just use it through parallel. Fine. Now let's run the code. So what I'll do, I'll just comment this piece of code because I don't want to print anything. Let me comment all. Fine. Now let's run this code. So this will execute in plain stream and this will execute in parallel stream. Now let's run this. Yeah. So if you see the output, plain stream was executed from 1 2 3 4 5 6 up to 9 in a sequence manner with a single thread, that is our main thread. But if you observe, the parallel stream begin execution printing the value 6 5 7 3 4 9 8 2 1. There is no order. And also if you observe 6 5 7, it execute through the main thread, then later it took the worker thread for the execution. It took the thread from the fork join thread pool and it begin the execution. So if you observe, worker 1 thread execute and print the value 3, then worker 1 again execute, print the value 4, and there is a thread switching, right? Again it release the log and this worker 1 get chance to execute again. So this is how this parallel stream works. Okay. Now what we understand, we just print the value from 1 to 10 and 1 to 100. Now what we'll do, we have a employee class. Let's create 1000 of employee and then we'll find the actual difference. We'll do some data manipulation, like we'll do some filter, or we'll evaluate the average salary of an employee, so that we'll find some actual time difference between the plain stream and parallel stream. Now what I'll do, I have one employee database class. Let me delete this. We just want to create 1000 or 10,000 record. Then we'll do some data logic. Okay. So let me create a list employees equal to new array list. Then took for loop int I equal to 1, I less than equal to 1000, I plus plus. Now inside this loop, I will create employee object and then I will add into the list. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just add employees dot add new employee of Let me see the constructor. We have ID, name, grade and salary. So ID can be this I we can pass. Name, let's say I'll give employee, then the count, okay, then grade. So we can add A for now. Then we just need to add the salary, right? So salary is type double. So what we can do, we'll write something called double dot value of, just pass new random dot next int, and I will pass something called 1000 into 100. Okay, so just add the semicolon because I just want to generate some random number so that I can find out the average. Okay, yeah. So now what I'll do, I'll just return employees. Now let's go to our code, parallel stream example. I will get the list of employee from employee database dot get employees. Just add it to the list of employees. Fine. Now I will just try to evaluate the average using normal stream and using parallel stream. Then we'll find out the actual time difference between these two. So first let's go with the normal stream. What we'll do, we'll just write employees dot stream, then get the only salary. So I'll write map employee dot get salary. Okay, then map to double, then just find out the average dot get as absolute, get as double, right? So this already you understood from the reduce example, map reduce example. So if you are not aware about that, you can check out my previous Java 8 playlist. Okay, so I'll just define a local variable salary with stream. So let me minimize this. Yeah, now what I will do, I'll just add this time stop. So just add the start time, then similarly just add the end time, then just print the difference. Normal stream execution time end minus start. Fine. Similar way, let's do it for parallel stream. So what I'll do, I'll just get employees dot parallel stream. So I already mentioned there is two way you can create parallel execution using direct parallel stream method. Otherwise you can call this parallel method. Okay. So let's verify whether parallel method will be applicable for these employees or not. No. In case of you have employees list of object, you can go for parallel stream. Then just do the same logic. Finally get as double. Fine. Now let's define the local variable. So I'll name it salary with parallel stream. Fine. So again let me format it. Let's evaluate the time for the parallel stream now. Let me copy this. Fine. Now what we'll do, let's run our code. Yeah. So if you observe, to execute or to evaluate 1000 record, normal stream execution time is 84 and the parallel stream execution time is only 1 millisecond. So let's print the salary also. Okay, time. So I'll add here salary, means average salary you can mention here. Okay, just print the salary with stream. So I'll copy the same. Better to add one space here. So we added the average salary. So this will be salary with parallel stream, right? Fine. Now meanwhile, let me comment this piece of code. Now let's run our code. Yeah. So if you observe, normal stream took 68 millisecond, where parallel stream took 6 millisecond. Now let's run it multiple times. You will find the difference. 75 and 7, 74, 6. Yeah. So it means normal stream will always take time while performing the retrieval operation because it will execute in a single core and single thread as well, you can say. But in case of parallel stream, it will use multiple core with multiple thread. That's why we are getting the faster response. Fine, you can see this average salary. So hopefully we covered almost all the required Java 8 concept. Now this concept will help you when I will start the Spring reactive programming. Okay. So once again, if you are not aware about Java 8 functional style coding, please visit my Java 8 playlist. Also, I will add the link in video description so that it will help you to understand the Spring 5 reactive programming, which is my upcoming series. That's all about this particular video, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Meet you soon with a new concept.